There are so many Pokemons with so many types. You have to be strategic in battles because different types of Pokemons counter each other. As a result, players usually get at least 3 different types of Pokemons to make sure they can beat every trainer. But what if you can only use one Pokemon? And that Pokemon being the most boring type of them all, normal. Not only that, but potions, berries, or any type of healing items are not allowed. Is it possible to beat Pokemon Emerald? If so, how long does it take? Well, let's find out. First, we have to save Professor Birch from a Pokemon, so we had 3 choices. None of them were normal type though, so I just picked Mudkip and went on with the storyline. We battled our neighbor May. We went to Petalburg City where our dad was. He was actually a gym leader. As we were talking, a timid looking kid named Wally asked us to help him catch a Pokemon. After that, we were free to go get our one and only Pokemon of the run. Located in the Petalburg woods was a Pokemon that would solo the entire Hoenn region. Slakoth! Don't judge him yet. He might look dirty and lazy now, but he will be sexy. And that's why I named him Sexy Lazy. With Sexy Lazy in the party, I was ready to release Mudkip back into the wilderness. Oh, he came back. Okay, I guess he'll just stay in the box. I took Sexy Lazy out to gain some experience. Level 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back in Petalburg Woods, a member of the evil Team Aqua came and tried to take something from an innocent researcher. Sexy battled Puccina and took it out in 2 shots. I battled a few more times to gain experience, but because we couldn't use potions, I had to run all the way back to Petalburg City to heal Sexy Lazy. With Sexy at 100%, we made our way to Route 104, where we gained more experience and we made it to Rustboro City. In this city, I faced my first top matchup, Machop, a fighting type Pokemon. Fighting moves are super effective against normal type Pokemons, so even though I had a 3 level advantage, Machop was doing the same amount of damage. I tried to put Machop to sleep with Yawn, but that was too late. Sexy went to sleep instead. We got sent all the way back to Petalburg. I went back to the same road but fought a different trainer this time. Wurmple was always easy to defeat. Nincada had an annoying hardened move that made it take less damage. Fortunately, Sexy landed a crit. I battled another trainer on that road. It looked like it was gonna be an easy battle, but Shroomish used Stun Spore, which paralyzed Sexy. Normal paralysis is already annoying, but it was even worse for Sexy because all Slakoth have the ability called Truant, which makes them move every 2 turns. This, paired with paralysis, made Sexy pretty much a punching bag, and he fainted again. Sexy wasn't doing enough damage, so I made him gain experience by beating wild Pokemons until he was level 13. At level 13, he also learned a move called Slack Off, which would be the MVP of this run. This move allowed Sexy to heal half of his HP in battle. This meant I didn't have to run all the way back to the Poké Center every 2 minutes. Therefore, the leveling process was much easier. I still managed to die to a wild Pokemon because I was greedy though. At level 14, I went to get revenge on the Machop with a new strategy. I yawned, made the Machop sleep, and just like a toddler and his dad, I scratched his face. Another rematch, but this time with the girl. The yawn strategy worked flawlessly. The next Pokemon trainer was a rock type user, and battling him made me aware that normal moves were also not effective against rock type. I was barely doing damage, and I actually had to use Slack Off in battle this time. This was a really big problem because the first gym in Rustboro City was a rock type gym. I thought the only way for me to do well was to outlevel them by a large margin, so that's what I did. I had to occasionally go back to the Poké Center when my PP got low. Sorry, it wasn't fun, but I did it until Sexy was level 15. The strategy for the gym was to make all their Pokemons go to sleep and slowly scratch them until they passed out. The first trainer's Geodude was level 10, so it wasn't easy, but the strategy worked. The second trainer had 2 Pokemons. His Geodude was level 8, so it should have been easy, but all Geodudes had a move called Defense Curl, which made their defense stronger. So no matter what, it was always a long and grueling battle. The only thing that made it a little easier was that Sexy would sometimes land a crit. I'm not sure how crit works, but go Chris! The last trainer before the gym leader was finally a man and not a boy. In this battle, you could really see how effective Defense Curl was because instead of doing 1/10 of the HP, Sexy was doing 1/4. It was still a long and grueling battle though. Finally, it was time to challenge the gym leader, Roxanne. She had 3 Pokemons and her first Geodude was level 12. Only level 2. I made it sleep just like the others, and I was doing good damage. Yeah, I lost completely. Truant was a big problem. I couldn't slack off in time, I couldn't yawn in time, I couldn't scratch in time, I couldn't apologize to her in time. What? I just couldn't do anything fast enough. So I went back to gain experience from wild Pokemons, level 17, level 18, and it was time for Sexy to evolve from Slakoth into Vigoroth. Evolving solved the problem because Vigoroth's natural ability was Vital Spirit, which made him immune to sleep. Sexy went from being lazy to coked up. Roxanne was trembling at the sight of the majestic and handsome Vigoroth. Her Geodude landed a crit, but that was okay. We put it to sleep and scratched. Roxanne used potion. Puh, loser! Sexy slacked off and I jacked up. What I meant to say was Geodude couldn't do jack squat and he fainted. The second Geodude came out and had the exact same experience. Except this one even got hit with a crit. Of course he used another potion though. Coward behavior. It didn't change anything. The last and final hope at winning from Roxanne was Nosepass. I slacked off the heal while Nosepass kept using Harden to boost his defense. It actually got 3 Hardens off before going to sleep. So it was super tough. So tough that I was becoming afraid my PP would run out before I could finish him off. Roxanne made that fear even stronger by using a potion. Fortunately, I actually got a crit right after. I had 9 scratches left. It wasn't looking like it would work, but I got another crit. I almost died as well, but we won! As a reward, we of course got the gym badge, but we also got the Rock Tomb TM. Unfortunately, Monkey see, but Monkey can't do. When I came out the gym, the same guy who almost got robbed by Team Aqua actually got robbed. So I followed them, but not only did Team Aqua rob the researcher, they also took this old man's Pokemon. His Poochyena was no match for Sexy. The old man got his bird back, the researcher got his item back, he took us back to his workplace, Devon Corporation. We talked to the CEO, he asked us to deliver a mail to Steven at Dewfort Town, and to deliver an item to Slateport City. On the way there, the neighbor girl asked us for a silly battle, she got done silly. I asked the old man to help me sail to Dewfort Town because he was a sailor. Steven was in the cave, and it was really dark, but we managed to make our way to Steven and delivered the mail. There was also a gym at Dewfort Town, so I went inside. It was dark just like the cave. After just beating a tough stylistic gym in Rustboro, we had another tough gym at Dewfort because it was a fighting type gym. Fortunately, the first trainer was dumb and only used psychic moves. The second trainer was the exact same. The third trainer finally had a different Pokemon. I yawned, he yeeted, yikes. Clearly, it was only getting tougher. Fourth trainer also had Machop, which would always be tough, but we would also always get through. And it was time for the gym leader, Brawly. First move for Machop was Seismic Toss, which was pretty weak. Sexy put it to sleep, and it was looking like an easy win. Oh! We got smacked. Something had to change. So I went into this house, talked to this blonde, and got a Silk Scarf. When Silk Scarf is held by a Pokemon, it boosts the power of normal type moves. Machop, more like Get Chopped. Meditite, more like Make Me Faint. Makuhita, more like... Oh! I went back to Rustboro to get the cut HM, then I got a Nincada to hold the HM because Sexy was the only one battling. He needed the best moves only. With Cut, I was able to battle more trainers and leveled up Sexy even more. At level 22, Sexy had the same performance against the first 2 Pokemons and baited out 1 potion. Against Makuhita, oh beautiful feces. Alright, let's heal. Heal! 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 Fat Yellow Boy was Monkey's greatest enemy. Revenge! 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 At level 24, I went back to get revenge. This time, I made sure to go into the final battle against Makuhita at 100%. Brawly also used a lot of potions on Meditite, which was perfect. Makuhita was the only Pokemon I put to sleep in the battle, and it was honestly easy. No surprises. I don't miss in Trilogy. Wasn't even happy. Let's go! 2 gyms down, 6 more and the Elite Four to go. But before that, I delivered the Devon item to Captain Stern at Slateport. Team Aqua still had not given up on it though, so I had to battle 2 members of their team. Their leader, Archie, came and threatened us about getting in their way. It was pretty scary, thank God he didn't battle us. On the way to the next city, the neighbor girl, May, asked for a battle. All her Pokemons except the starter fainted in 1 shot. When we made it to Mauville City, Wally was there in front of the gym with his uncle. He was trying to convince his uncle to let him challenge the gym. To prove to his uncle he was ready, he asked us for a battle. He should not have done so. The gym was supposed to be an electric gym, but for some reason, a martial artist was in there, using fighting type Pokemons. The guitarist actually had electric Pokemons though, which was a lot easier for Sexy to deal with. There were more non-electric Pokemons than electric Pokemons in total, but no problem. The gym leader, Watson, had Voltorb as his first Pokemon. Sexy couldn't one-hit KO, and that allowed Voltorb to paralyze him. Before Voltorb fainted, it also self-destruct and did a lot of damage. Electrike came out and kept howling to boost his attack, as Sexy was trying to slack off but kept getting paralyzed. Paralysis was really annoying. It allowed Electrike to land a bunch of shockwaves. Fortunately, after Electrike fainted, Sexy leveled up to 31. Sexy was able to learn Slash, a move with the power of 70 and high crit ratio. I replaced Scratch with it, and it was the savior of the run, because look how little damage Slash was doing to Magneton. Now imagine what Scratch with the power of 40 would have done. It still wasn't enough. I lied when I said it saved the run. With the power of Slash from the start though, I was able to one-hit KO Voltorb and Electrike. With Magneton, I yawned and I got paralyzed, but that was okay. Sexy was down to 1 HP at one point, but he pulled through and knocked out Magneton. The last Pokemon was the evolved version of Electrike, Magnetric. Death by 1 slash. Shockwave, the move that was doing a bunch of damage to us, was the reward we got alongside the gym badge. And Sexy was actually able to use it, so I made him learn it. The game knew I just got a new move, so they sent a trainer with a bird. That's super good, man. Oh, look at this. Shockwave. Bird. Oh, bird. I had a lot of fun with the new move. After all that fun, I went into a house and got the Rock Smash HM from this doctor. I finally knew why Mudkip didn't leave us when we released him. I went to Wendanturf Town and into the cave. Inside was a couple separated by 2 big rocks. Mudkip smashed the rocks so they could be together. We also got the Strength HM from the guy. On the way to the next gym, I battled a family. I beat the dad, I beat the mom, but I got paralyzed and lost. The main reason was actually because we ran out of PP for Slash. So on the next attempt, we beat the entire family to the ground.
Babe!
Daughter!
Grandma! Oh, my husband's dead.
We made it to Falabor Town where Sexy leveled up to 36 and evolved. Just kidding, I didn't let him, because when Vigoroth evolves into Slacking, it becomes lazy again. We continued the journey to Meteor Falls, where we met Team Magma, the enemy of Team Aqua. Team Magma ran away to Mount Chimney, and Team Aqua followed. We talked to this professor, and he told us that he had his meteorite stolen by them. So we hurried to Mount Chimney. Team Aqua and Team Magma were having fierce battles. I went to the leader of Team Magma, Maxi, as he was trying to use the meteorite to make the volcano erupt. We of course tried to stop him, and as all evil people do, his Pokemon was Mightyena. 2 slashes and it was dead. Zubat, 1 slash and it was dead. Camerupt, 1 critical slash and it was dead. Maxi warned us that he wasn't done before he fled. Archie came and thanked us. We went down the mountain to Lava Ridge Town where a fire type gym was. The trainers in this gym would pop out of holes in the ground. None of them were really able to do anything to Sexy. The gym leader Flannery had only been a gym leader for a short amount of time, and it showed. Her Pokemons were fainting left and right until the last one. And then 1. Oh! It still wasn't a problem for Sexy though. Just a little bit of excitement for the viewers is what Sexy said. With 4 gyms defeated, the next one was in Petalburg. It was time for us to return the favor and beat our dad. In this gym, we had an ability to choose which room we wanted to enter. The first 2 options were accuracy and speed. I chose speed, and it was a speedy feint by the opposing Pokemon. Next, defense or confusion. I chose confusion. We left the trainer confused with 1 slash. We no longer had a choice after that, so it was the strength room next. They should have practiced fighting instead of lifting weights. Next room, receded hairline dad. No longer my dad for that reason alone. Terrible genetics. Dad sent out Spinda first, which was just a bad Pokemon that couldn't take a hit. His next Pokemon though was pretty scary. Both Sexy and I were fighting our dads. Slacking was actually pretty good, so Sexy had to put it to sleep. Sexy got close to beating him a few times, but dad used potions, and Slacking almost got us back. Sexy used 2 Slack-offs to heal to max, while Slacking was affected by the Truant effect. It even tried to use Yawn, which Sexy is immune to. Because of that, Sexy won a fun duel with his dad. Next was his brother. First hit almost took him out, a potion was used, but the next hit was a crit.
I'm the new leader, tribe leader.
The last Pokemon was Lino One. Anybody with eyes would be able to tell it stood no chance against the big, strong, veiny, humongous Vigoroth. At the end of the battle, Sexy leveled up to 43 and was able to learn Focus Punch, a strong move with the power of 150 and 100 accuracy. I had never seen such a move with that stat, so I replaced Shockwave with it. As for our dad, he was shocked. He gave us the Facade TM, which we would use later. Wally's dad came and asked us to follow him. He gave us the Surf HM, which was necessary in order to get to the next gym. On the way there, I took an opportunity to try the new move. Focus Punch. Dog's beautiful feces. It wasn't actually that good, so I replaced it with Facade. Facade was a good move because he had the same stat as Slash, but the damage would be doubled when Sexy had a status effect. Facade was the answer to Paralysis. Before I could make it to Fort Tree City, I saw that the Weather Institute had been taken over by Team Aqua, so I of course tried to stop them. My opponent was the admin of Team Aqua, Shelly. Carvanha got crushed. Mightyena got made to look a fool. A lower ranking member came and informed Shelly about Team Magma heading towards Mount Pyre, so they rushed out. I didn't care, so I beat the neighbor for the fun of it. Then we made it to Fort Tree City. I wanted to challenge the gym right away, but something unseeable was in the way. I went to Steven for help, and he showed us how to use the Devon Scope. It was a device that allowed us to see Pokemons that were unseeable. The Fort Tree gym was a flying type gym. Because of that, I was going to make Sexy relearn Shockwave. That was when I realized you can only use the TM once in Pokemon Emerald. I was devastated, but Sexy was honestly so strong at that point, normal moves were enough to get us to the gym leader. The gym leader, Winona, had 5 Pokemons. The first one, Slash to bits. The second one, holy smoke, she was big, just how I like it. The third one, ho ho, Big Mouth, we'll get a load of this fist. The fourth one, ooh, she was metal hard. Sexy made her sleep and did his thing. It was probably the longest game in the run though. The fifth and final Pokemon, Altaria. She had strong moves but her body was weak. The 6th gym badge was obtained. Only 2 more before the Elite 4. I had a battle with Magnetric after the gym. He couldn't do anything but we got paralyzed. With Facade, I thought Sexy could handle it, so I went into another battle with Paralysis. Unfortunately for us, Paralysis was extra OP. Oh, another death. We got them back in the rematch. And then another battle where we were not prepared. Uh-oh. I can't beat this guy. He's a ghost. I spent the entire battle using useless moves, making the opponent sleep and slacking off to heal. But then this happened. It was actually possible to beat a ghost type with a normal type. Ghost! Struggle took it out. I wonder if I can beat this guy using that as well. Let's try it. Normal type is actually the best type in the game. Team Aqua was going to Mount Pyre, so we followed them. The mountain was so high it reached the cloud. Archie from Team Aqua took the red orb, while the blue orb was taken by Maxie of Team Magma long before that. The grandma that was protecting the orbs told us that the orbs must never be separated and asked us to help collect the orbs back. She also gave us a Magma emblem that a member of Team Magma dropped by accident. I didn't know where Team Magma was heading though, so I just continued to the new town. Then this guy said, "Don't go near the cave in the cove." I went and I found Team Aqua's hideout. I couldn't get through because of the team members, but they gave us a hint that Team Magma's hideout was at Mount Chimney. So I went there, and a boulder reacted to the Magma emblem, exposing the entrance to Team Magma's hideout. Maxie was in there with a blue orb in his hand. He had awakened Groudon, expecting it to create more land and less sea. But instead, the Groudon just left. Maxie blamed us for it, so we battled. Sexy had already used most of his PP against other members of Team Magma, so he was only able to defeat Myena and Crobat. To defeat Maxie's last Pokemon, Camerupt, Sexy used all of his PP and struggled. It was tight, the battle. On the other hand, Archie of Team Aqua was at Slateport and he stole Captain Stern's submarine. To stop him, we went back to their hideout and the submarine was there. Admin Mats of Team Aqua tried to stop us with his Myena and Golbat, but he was unsuccessful. Unfortunately, he did succeed in stalling us and letting Archie finish the preparation for ancient Pokemon searching. To stop Archie, I surfed to Moss Deep City to get the Dive HM. To use it though, I had to defeat the gym of the city first. The gym was a psychic type, one of the strongest type in the game, and they had a bunch of trainers, but we were able to get through all of them without fainting once. The gym leader was a twin, so they required at least 2 Pokemons. I got Nincada to join the team because they had a hardened move that did nothing offensively. Whoa! The leaders were super strong and they got twice more turns than we did, so even with slack off, it wasn't enough to keep Sexy conscious. Wow, I'm dead! They're super strong! Training arc activated. I trained with every trainers under the sun. Level 60, level 61. To maximize the power of Facade, I had Numo burn Sexy. I was confident. You are cooked! Add 1 more feint to the count. I went out with a new strategy that was actually old. I yawned. Harden. Alright, oh my goodness. I managed to make Claydol fall asleep and took it out with 1 critical slash. Satu kept using Calm Mind to boost his special attack before going to sleep. I made Lunatone fall asleep soon after, then I slashed Satu, but it woke up, and all those power-ups were worth it. I needed a new move, so I got the Shadow Ball TM from Mount Pyre. Ghost moves were super effective against psychic types, but they still didn't die in 1 shot. The twins used 2 hyper potions before Sexy took out Claydol, and Satu had been using a bunch of power-up moves. Fortunately, it died in 1 shot. Lunatone came out and put Sexy at half health. I made the difficult decision to continue attacking and took Lunatone out with 1 shot. Solrock had a pretty weak move, so Sexy was able to slack off. Shadow Ball claimed another victim. We won! After the gym battle, I noticed Team Magma was in town. They had taken over Space Center. Their goal was to steal rocket fuel and use it to make the volcano on Mount Chimney erupt. Steven and I, 2 brothers from different mothers, tried to stop them. Sexy took care of Myena with ease. Steven's Metang had a bit of trouble, but he managed to take take care of the opposing Camerupt. Metang also took care of the Crobat that Sexy put to sleep, and Metang took the last shot of the second Myena. Golbats came out just to get a load of Sexy's big fist. The last Camerupt was no problem at all. We won with 2 Pokemons versus 6. After the battle, the leader of Team Magma actually had a change of mind about their ideology. Steven brought us to his house and gave us the Dive HM. With this move, we were able to get down to the sea floor, and we found the submarine very quickly. We went back up to the surface, and it didn't take long at all for us to locate the legendary Pokemon. We even got there before Archie. We had to stop him. He only had 3 Pokemons, and one of them was Myena, which really meant he only had 2 Pokemons. One of them being Crobat. Crobat, more like Crobat. Sharpedo. Call 911. Archie still used the red orb to awaken Kyogre, but just like Groudon, Kyogre left, and we all left the cave too. Both Maxie and Archie were surprised at the power of the legendary Pokemons. It exceeded their expectations, made them realize they were wrong. Steven came and told us about a huge cloud that was raining over Sootopolis City, so we went there, and that was where the legendary Pokemons were. They were having an intense battle. I tried to battle the legendary Pokemons, but that was impossible. After talking to Steven, he told us we needed to meet a guy named Wallace. In the Cave of Origin, we talked to Wallace, and we learned that there was actually a 3rd super ancient Pokemon that could stop the fight, Rayquaza. Rayquaza was also the one to stop the fight thousands of years ago. It was resting at the Sky Pillar, so that's where we went. I thought we'd be able to catch it and use it to stop the fight, but Rayquaza left. They all did. At Sootopolis, big Rayquaza came down with a beaming light. With his presence alone, the other ancient Pokemons pooped their pants, and Rayquaza left again. To thank us, we got the Waterfall HM from Wallace. Wallace was actually the gym leader, but he had just given up his position. In this gym, we didn't have to battle any trainers. We just had to crack all the ice at least once to unlock the stairs to the gym leader. The successor of Wallace was Juan. He was a water type user. Heart-shaped fish, dead. Catfish, actually tough, but not enough. Big fella. This one was actually good and got Sexy to use Slack Off, but not enough. Sexy had to be more careful, so he put Crawdon to sleep before taking it out. Kingdra was a long battle, but nothing special. It had a healing move, and Juan also used potions which dragged it out, without changing the result. All gym badges had been obtained. The Pokemon League was at Evergrande City. To get there, we had to go through Victory Road. Wally actually followed us and asked for a rematch. He had Altaria as his first Pokemon. Altaria was never a problem for Sexy. Delcatty, same thing except 1 potion from Wally. Magneton was a bad matchup, so Sexy put it to sleep before putting it away with 4 slashes and 1 Shadow Ball. Roselia was looking like an easy win, but before it went out, we got poisoned. Gardevoir was going to be really dangerous, but it never used an attacking move. On top of that, Sexy landed a critical slash. It seemed like an easy battle, but we were actually really close to losing. Out the cave, we made it to the Pokemon League. Sydney of the Elite Four was our first opponent. He had a Myena. It didn't do any damage, but it got 1 sand attack off, which reduced Sexy's accuracy. This played a factor in the Shiftry fight because we missed the first attack. On top of that, Shiftry used Torment, which prevented us from using the same move consecutively. On top of that, Sexy kept missing because he had his accuracy reduced. Shiftry boosted its evasiveness, and Sexy was confused. Oh, he used that. Oh, but I hit somehow. Fortunately, Cacturne, Crawdon, and Absol were easy. We couldn't return to heal or refill our PP, so we just moved on to the second member of the Elite Four, Phoebe. Phoebe was a ghost type user. We had a ghost type move, so we didn't need to struggle anymore. But Dusclops used Curse. It took itself out, but Curse was doing so much damage every turn. With the combination of Curse, damage from opposing Pokemons, and limited PP, Sexy couldn't make it. I remembered that I replaced Sexy's Silk Scarf with an Everstone because I didn't want him to evolve. I made Sexy hold the Silk Scarf again, and we gave it another attempt. We ended up losing to the first trainer. New tactic. I made Sexy level up to 70 and allowed him to evolve. With Sexy being slacking, it did a lot of damage. With Sexy being slacking, he also couldn't get past the second Pokemon. I loaded up a save before Sexy evolved, and because I was so desperate, I replaced Shadow Ball with Aerial Ace, a flying move that never misses. Myena, no problem. Aerial Ace was super effective against Shiftry and Cacturne, but couldn't one-hit KO any of them. Crawdon was really strong. We could barely make it past the first Elite Four with the new move. 1 Aerial Ace and we were out of PP against the second Elite Four. I was not done with trying new moves, so I made Sexy learn Thunderbolt, a strong electric move with the power of 95 and accuracy of 100. It was really strong against Crawdon, but Phoebe was still my nightmare. No new moves, but new tactic. Luck. I was betting on good luck, but I just ended up screaming, "Fuck!" Plan of heavily relying on Yawn. We slept. I spent an hour thinking of different strategies and I came up with a good one. It was possible to buy a few TMs from the arcade, but because we had lost so many battles, we didn't have enough money. To make money fast, we went back home and mom gave us an amulet coin. We battled a lot of trainers to get the money. Once we had enough, we bought the flamethrower TM. We even found an ice beam TM in an abandoned ship. I replaced Yawn with ice beam and challenged the Elite Four again. Slash luckily hit a crit and knocked out my Yena. Ice beam is strong against grass, so Shiftry was knocked out in one. The same happened to Cacturne. Crawdaunt was the perfect subject for Thunderbolt. Absol didn't go for any attack move, so we were able to get to the next member with 0 damage. When I battled Phoebe, I prayed that her Dusclops wouldn't use Curse. That was a guarantee loss, so I reset just before the battle and tried again. I reset until I got a battle where Dusclops didn't use Curse, but Banette used Burn. This happened a few times. Sometimes we would run out of PP just before we could finish the last Pokemon. But eventually, we finished the first Dusclops without getting Cursed and the first Banette without getting Burn. Sableye wasn't difficult either. The second Banette has a chance to ruin it all, but other than using 2 full restores, it was all good. The last Dusclops had my cheeks looking like Niagara Falls, but it was all okay. We finally made it to the 3rd trainer of the Elite Four, Trainer Glacia. I was stupid though because I forgot to replace the moves that were out of PP. Fortunately, luck was on my side because Sexy got 2 critical slashes in a row, knocking out Glacia's first 2 Pokemons. The 3rd one survived because it wasn't a crit, but it still fainted to the next slash. Glalie got pretty close to knocking out Sexy, and the full restore scared me about not having enough PP. But the next slash was a crit. Walrein was really tough. It was the only one to survive a critical slash. Scared me again with full restore. Thankfully, it only took 2 more slashes. Only 1 member of the Elite Four left. Before I battled to get more PP, I replaced Ice Beam with Flamethrower and Thunderbolt with Secret Power. Drake, the Dragon Master, was of course a Dragon-type user. Sexy started the battle with less than half his HP, so he had to slack off. A slash almost knocked out Shelgon. Rock Tomb, on the other hand, didn't do much damage, but it did slow Sexy down. Altaria was never intimidating to go against in this run. Kingdra, I didn't know what to expect, but it also didn't offer much of a resistance. Flygon and Sexy took turns using Earthquake and Secret Power. Secret Power came out on top. Drake's last Pokemon, Salamence, was pretty scary looking. 1 HP! Sexy had to be careful. But once it was time for Sexy to retaliate with Secret Power, oh, critical hit! We had defeated the Elite Four! But to be Pokemon League champion, we also had to defeat the current champion, Wallace. Before battling, I replaced Slash with Hidden Power. Then it was time. His first Pokemon was Wailord. It was massive! And it did a lot of damage with Water Sprouts. Sexy tried Hidden Power, but it wasn't very good against Wailord. Wailord landed Blizzard, but it wasn't so strong. Secret Power, on the other hand, was amazing. Wailord landed Water Sprout again, but for some reason it became super weak. Wallace used Full Restore as well, but it was meaningless because Sexy landed a critical Secret Power. After this, I'll just let you listen to the live reaction of the battle. Boom! Oh! Boom! Super effective. Boom! Boom! Dead! Boom! Oh, critical hit! Gyarados! Oh no! Oh, critical hit! Oh, let's go! Let's go! Oh! 7 HP! You get to evolve as a congratulations, Sexy Lazy, into Slacking. As you can see, it is possible for one normal Pokemon to beat the entire Hoenn region, and it only took 43 hours. Normal Pokemons are the best Pokemons.